All right, so this is like test for a while, right? So because this AI learning workshop session, we'll be going to do a lot of great stuff. So I believe right before directly jumping into the workshop, so test it out our live session. This is first time I'm coming live on YouTube. Definitely, there are a lot of mistakes maybe I can make. If you see certain mistakes or it is going in a wrong direction, please raise your hand or leave a comment right there. So perfect. It seems like we are perfectly live on the YouTube. But definitely, so let's try to discuss about the agenda. What we'll be going to do with this, with the help of this AI learning workshop. So our main agenda is to we have learned a lot, like as a kind of backend engineer or maybe a full stack or whatever you have learned from the code which this is really wonderful. And some of you already sent me kind of really great messages. Thanks a lot, a tons of love from my side. But absolutely, I was a bit away from the YouTube just for fulfill some of my personal agenda, some of my job related stuff, and some of the stuff that is exactly maybe uh, it's got delayed to release some of the episodes and courses. But this time I'm coming with a kind of commitment. So hopefully we will not distracted by other stuff. So that's why this AI learning workshop is going to be kind of boost this continuity. The first thing I would like to say, as of now, we have a really great team we have as in terms of learning Node.js, Go, or microservice, or clean architecture, a lot of concepts. But can you imagine you are learning great stuff in 2026? This is not enough. If you want to take a kind of a good job around the world in with a kind of hot technology or knowledges, Node.js or learning only backend or learning only Go, this is not enough. So that's why what we need to do, we need to keep update ourselves, right, with certain technology, certain tech stack. This is the one of the hot topic right now, AI. Maybe you might have thinking like in a day, you are late, but not, right? So a lot of AI tutorials, a lot of tons of resources are available on the internet. But those resources, is it really helping you to land a job? I believe some of them. But while you are writing code as a backend engineer or as a full stack engineer, you need to put your hands beyond that. You need to understand how we can utilize this AI part, LLM part to build the product, right? Not just like write the code using a cursor or maybe Copilot or maybe Claude or something like that. No, this is just like in a code editor, right? But real product engineering is a different thing. You need to understand the architecture, how AI can power your application, right? And how you can take the advantages of the output of what user is expecting. Let's say user come to your website and they want to buy something. Then what they are going to do? They will be going to visit the product and check the ratings, or maybe they can see some kind of comments right there, and then they can judge, okay, this is the right product to buy. But AI can do much more, right? So AI can assist that particular user by looking at the interest, like which page you are right now, right? If you're looking at kind of product right there, you're taking too long to decide whether you need to buy that one or not. So that is the use case, right? That is the particular use case AI can be fit. I'm just giving this is a very simple example, right? There are tons of stuff we can achieve from there, right? By using AI power, right? That's what the topic today we are going to discuss, right? So the first thing first, so how this AI learning workshop is gonna work. So this is going to be completely like 10 episodes class, right? So I cannot right now commit like one class will be maybe 1 hour or maybe 30 minutes, but not less than 30 minutes, because maybe one class can go beyond 1 hour, like maybe 1.5 hours or maybe max 2 hours. That is what is my guideline, like what is I'm thinking right now. And through all of these 10 classes, I'm gonna pick someone of you who can maybe jump and join me, all right, to work together as a kind of maybe a co-worker or maybe a kind of colleague of mine, like just like to make this whole session interesting, right? And each and every session will be going to have a kind of live session on in front of that particular class to understand the Q&A. Like if you have a kind of questions right there, then definitely maybe we can answer it correctly. And if you have any doubt, you no need to wait for writing a comment and send it to me. Like, you know, that is what maybe you no need to wait for that. You can directly join that live session and you can just like, you know, ask me directly, right? That is what exactly I'm gonna do. Like each and every each and every class, I'm gonna keep that particular live session for you, right? Then the next thing, right? So what maybe we can build, that is already you got the clue, right? So now I'm gonna share my screen here, right? So let me go to yeah. Hello, hello. Yeah, can somebody here hear me? Like, is my audio is coming right there correctly? Hello, hello. Yeah, yeah. Is it audio is coming? I can, if someone can confirm. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, because yeah, it's because of it's my mistake. I just switched my screens and I forgot to add these audio input to put it set it right there, right? Anyway, so I'm gonna kickstart again, like what I left on while I was sharing my screen. So the agenda of this whole session is just to kickstart like how we can move forward with the AI learning workshop. So first of all, I would like to request you when this learning session is going to be pretty interactive, right? So I'm going to pick someone of you to join me with this whole session to make sure we can have a common understanding. As an example, I'm not the one only going to write the code. You can also join me. We can together write the code, but I'll be the driver, right? So you can just like maybe figure out, hey Jay, this is wrong maybe, or maybe we can we do like this way or something like that. So this kind of interactive sessions gonna happen. So this whole session will be a kind of like 10 episode classes, right? So what that mean, right? So 10 episodes within 10 episodes we'll be going to finish the whole AI learning workshop. And as you know, like AI is growing right now, right? So everyone is talking about the AI, and you can find tons of like the resources on the internet. Like there are pretty some of the good tutors and good people. They are really making understanding very right way. That's I need to really appreciate. But you as an engineer, as a full stack engineer, software engineer, backend engineer, but what is the use case of the AI? That is exactly what we are going to crack it. As you know, Code.js is known for um, practical content. We will be not going to write like to-do stuff, right? So which is potentially no to-do at all right? So we are not going to show you like okay, let's write the code and call the OpenAI API or Anthropic API. No, we're not going to do that only. We'll do much more than that. So if you're already engineer, all right, if you want to grow your career, maybe just add a kind of keywords right there, right? So I know AI and I have built the AI product. I'm 100% sure it will going to add up 30 to 40% more salary than your current job title. That's what exactly it's going to happen in 2026 onward, right? This is not about like AI going to eat up software engineers job, right? Because AI built by software engineers, right? And but by just like filling this particular gap, right? This is really amazing. This is going to help you out to sign in future job opportunities. You will not going to be deprecated anymore, right? That's what I want to try to give you a kind of flavor, right? So so as of now, you can see on my screen, so we have received 29 votes. So we need more because then only I can prioritize, because already my schedule is tight. But based on your people's interest, then only I can prioritize the when I can release it. So I'm keeping it as a kind of estimate by next weekend onward, right? Not this weekend, next weekend onward, we'll be going to live with all the sessions like one by one. Once we started go live with this session, we're not gonna stop. Like 10 consequent 10 like in a sequence or 10 sequence of episodes will be going to release one by one. And each and every episodes, right before each and every episode, we'll be going to have a kind of this kind of Q&A live session. If you have any doubts, or if you have anything not clear, then you can ask me directly, right? Which is pretty much in YouTube, like you need to write a comment, then when I can again come online, I can see the response. This is going to take longer, right? But that's why actually I'm thinking of putting a 15 minutes of live session for right before every episode, so we can clear the previous episode's doubts right there, then you can continue learning. So this is going to be a kind of good deal for everyone. And next thing, I want to show you something which is very special for you people, right? So in the last couple of weeks, I have spent to build one platform, right? And for a kind of US company, and the company name is Human. I would like to say thank you to human engineering team. They requested me to help us help them out to build their the architecture, system software architecture and the system design. So this site is already live, right? And they have received approximately 1,300 new companies, right, to land it to their portal. And if you are looking for any kind of overseas job, remote jobs as a software engineer or something, please go ahead and sign up right there, right? And this is going to be kind of huge opportunity for you. And then, and you can see this whole platform is built on the top of AI, right? So in terms of like, we have some of these services are built in Node.js, some of these services are built on Pastify using Python, right? And if you see in the recruiters, like here I already I explained right earlier also, but now still I can explain due to audio issues. So now you can see here we have built multi-step agentic AI right there, right? So this whole platform, all the backend services are talking to AI service, right? And there's a kind of AI microservice which is taking care of all this agentic flow in terms of multi-agents are working behind the scene to power this whole the platform. So company can come to their portal, right? They can post the job. Then this recruitment agent, right? So this is going to scan all the talent all over the world, not only this particular platform. This is going to scan all the available talents from anywhere, right? I'm not gonna give the name of the websites or not the platform due to restriction, but it can find all the talents from around the world, from the internet, and this is going to screen each and every candidate matching with this job requirement, right? To find out the appropriate candidate, and this is going to review each and every candidate behind the scene with a kind of scheduled job, right? Then finally, it will contact those candidates one by one through email, through Slack, or whatever the media is available, and the company will receive to the interview-ready candidates. So isn't it interesting? This is really interesting, right? It looks complicated, but behind the scene, it's not that complicated. Unless if you understand how AI works, like where we need to put our limitations on the AI. So the way we have designed this particular platform, two approaches, deterministic and probabilistic, right? As you know, like AI has hallucination in terms of like AI, it's don't know everything, like you need to they need to provide, right? They maybe need to create some like new data which is not physical or not like practical, maybe imaginary data. So those hallucination, definitely we'll be going to discuss about what hallucination it is. Like we will chunk these things in one by one in different chapters, right? So you can get like quality knowledge. And based on those data, we know right now, if we understand how AI works behind the scene, then this is easy for you to build, right? It's not only this particular platform or portal, right? You can do much more other stuff also. Then similar approach. As an example, you can, if you go with the e-commerce applications, right? Then if you go to Amazon, right now Amazon also have AI, right? So you can ask something, right? Maybe some similar kind of e-commerce also having a lot of AI features. But reality, they are just like putting on beta because they are still not sure like how these things gonna work and how it can be helped to user. I'm gonna give you a classic example where AI can be fit as an example, right? So let's go to the here, right? So now, if you think about you are going to buy something on Amazon, right? And you are staying on a page, right? So let's say you want to buy an iPhone or any kind of smartphone. Then what you will be going to do? You are not going to see the product, buy. No, you don't want to do that, right? So instead of that, what you are going to do? You'll be going to go with the reviews, right? Scroll down reviews and star ratings and all. And but still you cannot decide because you need to read all of the reviews, good review, what about the ratings. You can imagine AI can help that out, right? If you build a kind of AI agent, you can, okay, seems like user is stuck in this page for 5 minutes, then maybe AI can help it out, like, hey, seems like you are confused, maybe I can give you a kind of help, like here. So these are the smartphones, or this is good, this is bad, or aggregated stuff. These are the things exactly this kind of complex works, all right, time-consuming works can get it done by AI. That's what exactly we maybe can do that one. So now I'm going to show you like what we are going to build. You can see like in the screen, this is exactly the e-commerce website which is we are going to build, right? So here you can find any kind of, like, let's say if I'm gonna say Apple product, right? So Apple product, all the Apple product will be going to listed here, right? And behind the scene, AI is working here, right? So finding the data and like, embedding the data, storing in some great place where it can help us to find the product quickly. And we have a kind of AI assistance also, which is going to help us out to find the right product for you, right? Even it can guide you to how to add to cart, how to buy, and what to product, what to purchase, what not to. And if I'm gonna ask for, hey, can you please suggest me a kind of, like, maybe better performing smartphone for video photography, or maybe recording or something like that, then how we will do that? The AI is going to help us out, right? So we'll be going to build a kind of whole full-fledged e-commerce application within 10 episodes, right? And we'll be going to build a kind of product recommendation agentic AI, right? Which is going to give you understanding of whole AI lifecycle, right? So that is the agenda. So, but the theory you might have remember, right? So if you have not voted, please vote for it. And if you share this, like, these posts in social media or somewhere to gather more learner, this is really wonderful. Perfect. I believe this is going to help everyone to understand AI better, right? And we will together will do kind of like great job right there. Thank you. So I'm gonna wrap it up this live session for a while as a kind of kickstart today. So next week onward, we'll be going to kickstart right there. But based on the votes, if we are going to get more votes, then maybe we can kickstart a bit early also. Perfect. Thank you. And thank you so much for giving a lot of loves to CodeAJ. I really appreciate a lot of people are there, which is really writing good comments and all. And even I'm not going to say, if you don't like also, please write a comment so I can improve myself. People are never perfect, right? They're learning. Still, I'm also learning. I'm just also kind of a learner, just like you. Perfect. Thank you so much once again, and have a wonderful weekend to everyone. Bye-bye.